Hello dear friends, welcome to this video. In this video, we'll be looking at this jam mathematics problem. That question is for a matrix A given that which of the following would satisfy A raised to 6. A to the power 6 is an identity matrix. They have given 4 options in the question. In this question, as you see the question, you can identify it is somewhat related to a rotation matrix. So let us just understand the concept of rotation matrix first, and the problem is very simple. So all the TY students should know what is a rotation matrix in R2, right? So what is a rotation matrix in R2? There are of the two form. It could be cos theta, sin theta, minus sin theta, cos theta, that represent a rotation with an angle theta in the clockwise pattern. And if the minus sign is on the top right corner, then it is cos theta minus sin theta, cos theta, that represent rotation matrix but in the counterclockwise or an anti-clockwise pattern. Now this is in the R2, but the question talks about R3, right? So we should know how does the rotation matrix looks in R3. Correct. So let us just talk about a rotation matrix in R3. Now on R2, we were rotating it around the origin. We had no axis involved. But in R3, the rotation could be around any of the axes. So rotation in R3 depends on two things. The angle theta and axis around which you rotate. Also, clockwise and anti-clockwise comes the third parameter. But here we talk about the two parameters because I'm going to consider it as a clockwise pattern. Okay. So there are two things. The first is the axis of rotation and the second is the angle how much you are rotating. For an example, suppose if I write it like R I cap, that means I am rotating it around x-axis with an angle theta. As we already assume, we are talking about clockwise pattern, right? So in anti-clockwise, the minus sign will change. So how does it look? We know that the matrix of rotation usually in clockwise pattern looks like cos theta, sin theta, minus sin theta and cos theta. But now I know I want to rotate it around what? Rotate it around x-axis. So if I see a 3 cross 3 matrix in which the first coordinate is 1, that row and that column has the rest of the entry 0. This represents me I am rotating around what axis? X-axis, right? And the remaining part is nothing but the rotation matrix. So that is nothing but cos theta, sin theta, minus sin theta and cos theta. So this represent rotation about x-axis with an angle of theta in R3. Now if you want to think about y-axis, I'll write j cap theta. So what I do, in the second row, second column, I'll write 1 and that row and that column have everything else is 0. And the rest of the entry would be occupied by this rotation matrix of R2. That is nothing but cos theta, sin theta, minus sin theta and cos theta. Right? And the last one is nothing but R k cap theta. How I will write this? I'll write this as, this is 3 cross 3 matrix, right? So k cap, that means I am rotating around z axis, right? So third row, third column is 1. Other thing and that row and that column must be 0. The remaining part would be filled by again same matrix. So it is nothing but cos theta sin theta minus sin theta cos theta. This is one of the standard thing and I have seen multiple competitive exams asking this question. So now based on this information that how the rotation matrix in R3 looks, can we write something over here? Can you see the first matrix is actually nothing but rotation around which axis? This represents z axis, so I'll write k cap. With what angle? With the angle of pi by 4, and again it is by default everywhere it is clockwise because you can see minus sign in the bottom left corner, right? So the angle is pi by 4. Similarly, the next one over here is nothing but rotation around the I-axis with an angle. I-axis, this means x-axis, with an angle of pi by 3. Right? This tell me it is x-axis. This tell me the angle is pi by 3. Okay. Similarly, this is what? This represents me it is around which axis? Y-axis. I'll write it j cap with an angle of pi by 6. Okay. Let's go further. At the end it is r k cap, right? K cap by k cap because of this angle of pi by 2. Right? So we understood the given options are nothing but the rotation matrix and which form. We understood that. But now the question arises, which of the following will have a raised to 6 equal to I? Right? Which of the following will have a raised to 6 equal to I? And now if you see this very carefully, we know that the rotation matrix, okay, for an example, suppose if I have this as my rotation matrix, right? I just write it over here. This is my rotation matrix, and if I take a square of it, I take r n cap theta and multiply it with itself. So r n cap theta. What will happen? The elements will get rotated twice with the angle theta. So the output would be r n cap. The axis of rotation is same, but the angle will be doubled. Right? So can you observe this? If I apply this n cap theta k times, if I multiply it k times, the answer is going to be r, axis of rotation is same, but the angle of rotation becomes k times. Right? So can you see which of the following, if I apply to the power 6 to each of them, which of the following could convert to what? Convert to identity matrix. Right? So let us just observe which of the following would satisfy that. Okay. So what is the property that we found? We found that the property, if I have a rotation matrix around the any axis with an angle theta, and if I take the power k, more precisely, if I take the power 6, because in the question it is asking for 6, so it is 6, the answer is going to be r n cap 6 theta. So let us just see. The first option is nothing but r. What axis? It is j k. It is k, right? So it is k with pi by 4. And if I take 6 power, it is nothing but r k cap 6 pi by 4. Now this 6 pi by 4, it is not going to become identity for sure. From the option, if I observe which could be the answer, let us just see second one. R, it is first, so it is I cap. What is this? It is pi by 3 raised to 6. So this is nothing but R I cap 6 pi by 3. It is 2za. So if I try to write this, matrix, I cap means it is 1 0 0 0 0 and 2 pi, that means it is cos 2 pi. Over here it is sin 2 pi. Over here it is minus sine 2 pi, and over here it is cos 2 pi. Right? So I'm just writing that matrix after taking power 6. So it is 1 0 0 0 0. What is cos 2 pi? Cos 2 pi is 1. What is sine 2 pi? Sine 2 pi is 0. This is also 0. This is also 1. And which came out to be identity matrix. So what we understood is, this is a matrix for which a raised to 6 must be identity. Right? And you can verify in this and this case, it will not work. Right? Since in JAM we have only one of the option is true. So if second is true, rest could not be true. But I hope you understood in this case. It was very interesting example in which we understood the concept of rotation matrix, how to identify it as which type of a rotation in R3 and property, one of the property of rotation matrix. I hope you understood the proof. If you understood, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Okay, bye bye.